Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're here to do my top 15 tips for Oculus Quest 2, 3, and 3S users for 2025. There's always a lot of tips and tricks that we're all learning throughout the last couple of years, and if you're a newcomer, or even if you're not a newcomer and you haven't seen these tips in a while, there may be something in here that you didn't know before, because Meta's always releasing new features on the Quest platform, so it's good to do these on a yearly basis to keep us all fresh and keep us knowing what new features people are using, what cool things people are doing. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
So the first one coming in here at number 15 that I want to talk about is exploring the catalog of games available. Don't fall into the trap that a lot of people do that, only look at games that released in the last 6 months. There's a lot of games on the Quest platform that are released over the last year, 2, or even 3, like these here. Underdogs here is a fantastic game where you are basically inside of a giant mech and you have to fight all these enemies and stuff like that, and you're going through and trying to upgrade your weapons and all that stuff. It's really fun. You got Cookout that came out years ago. That's very reminiscent of games like Overcooked and stuff that we all know, but done in VR, which is fantastic, and done from Resolution Games, one of my favorite VR developers. And then Hyperdash, which feels like Unreal Tournament and Quake in VR with a dashing mechanic. That's super fun and free to play at this point. I did a video actually just the day before this one came out that you guys should watch after this one, top 20 Quest games that are, not known and not talked about enough and underrated that fits inside this category. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll just leave you with these 3, but check out that video for 17 more games that you guys should be thinking about that came out in the last few years, not just in the last few months. The next thing I want to talk about coming in here at number 14 is movies and TV shows on the Oculus Quest platform. There's so many different video applications that you can use here in VR. Starting with the first one here, MetaQuest TV. This is one that I urge everyone to check out. It's a MetaQuest app, but it highlights all the different VR videos that you can find on here, and they're spread from everywhere. You can see things in here from Meta Horizon World, some of the concerts and stuff that they feature in there. Some of them are in 3D 180, some of them are 180, some of them are 360. It depends on what you're looking for. They highlight some 2D stuff from like Amazon Prime. They have some YouTube stuff that's highlighted in here that could be immersive video content, as you guys are looking at here. They highlight creators as well, like Tested VR. We all know them. You can see it has little things on the bottom to show you exactly what it is. This is 180 3D. Of course, since they're highlighting videos from all different sorts of stuff, whether it be from applications like Peacock or other people creating content, obviously videos are going to be better than others. Some of them will be great quality, some of them not so much, but regardless, there's so many good things to look forward to in here and so many things to look at. You can see 3D videos in here, you got 360 videos in here. Like I said, there's a variety of a lot of stuff that you can look forward to when using this app, and I urge you guys to check it out because there's a lot of good stuff from a variety of different categories, from concerts to nature stuff to full-on TV shows to comedy shows, etc., etc. So check out the MetaQuest TV app for sure. Then, of course, we also have the YouTube app itself. The YouTube app here was recently redone, and it is much better. Now you can easily find 360 videos on here to watch in 360. When you open up YouTube, you can easily search for 3D content and stuff like that, or just watch your YouTube video in general. And not only can you watch it in this nice immersive environment if you want to, you can also change it and be in mixed reality as well if you want to do it that way. And then it switches over. You can go ahead and hit allow. And now we have this TV sitting in mixed reality, and you can go ahead and watch it from here. Now, if you don't and you want to just watch it here in a small panel, so you can multitask at the same time, that is also an option. So now I can put this little window here wherever I want. So I can take this YouTube window and, put it up here, and then maybe open something else up here. Like if I open up the store, for example, I can have that here, and then I can have the YouTube app sitting up here in floating space. I can move this to the right. You guys get the idea. So it is awesome to be able to have YouTube kind of be able to go wherever you want it to go and watch all the content that you're used to watching on YouTube. And the last one I'm going to highlight here for this category is big screen. This is where you would come to watch all your favorite movies in VR, whether you have them locally stored on a server, whether you have them locally on the Oculus device, whether you want to watch it on a browser and still watch YouTube and Disney Plus and all that kinds of stuff, or you want to join social rooms that other people are creating. For example, here you can see that they have a bunch of different environments that you can enjoy here in big screen. You can see, if I go to environment, all these different ones, like the sports bar we're in right now, the classroom, a theater, sports bar is what we're in right now. You got the lobby, all these different theaters that you can access. They actually just started creating user environments as well. So now people are creating, different rooms. For example, this 90s bedroom, which is pretty cool. So if we switch over to that, it brings us into this 90s bedroom, and you can watch TV and stuff on a CRT or sitting here on the computer monitor as well. And you can bring up things from a variety of different things like YouTube, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Twitch, Pluto. You can watch that all here. They got some TV channels here that you can kind of scroll through and watch as well. And then you also have the social aspect where people are creating their own rooms and hosting content from their PCs. As you can see here, all the different things that are being shown off. So this is definitely an application for content that you want to enjoy. They have a lot of good events that people are making here all the time. So movies, TV shows and stuff, and there's even more 2D apps on the Oculus Store that you can download from Amazon and Peacock and all that stuff that you saw before. But this is really good stuff. And if you guys want to watch TV shows and movies and stuff like that, those are my recommendations, and that comes in at number 14. The next one in here coming at number 13 is Xbox Game Pass. So Xbox Cloud Gaming, as you can see here, you could launch it right from here, and it works very similarly to YouTube, where you can go into an environment like this, and now we're in like a cool Xbox environment here in VR, and then you can have a gigantic screen here in front of you. I don't know why it's saying my computer is ready. I don't want to do that right now. But yeah, you can see you can pair a Bluetooth device to it. You can access your whole entire library from here, as you guys are looking at. You can go ahead and flatten the window instead of making it curved. You can obviously extend the window and make it even bigger, so it really takes your whole entire view. You can also, of course, do it in pass-through like we talked about before. And now we're in my room here, which is really cool. You can dim the environment as light or as dim as you want it to be surrounding you, which is cool. And again, you could also put it in this 2D application mode. So you can either make the window a little bit smaller, but then also, as I said before, multitask with Xbox Cloud Gaming, maybe sitting at the top, and maybe you're watching a YouTube video down here while you're playing Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, this is a really good application if you guys are fans of somebody who has Xbox Game Pass Ultimate already. This is just another way for you to play it in VR, but it's awesome because you could access it anywhere you go, and you could have a gigantic screen in front of you. The next thing I want to talk about coming in at number 12 is playing your Quest outside. Now, I know a lot of people, obviously that's their first instinct, especially if you live outside in hot temperatures and stuff like that, is you want to take this outside because if you have a big backyard like I do, you can just make a gigantic area to be able to play your Quest. And while that sounds enticing, you need to know that these lenses, if they're pointed at the sunlight for even like 3 seconds, they could burn in and they'll be damaged for good. And you won't be able to do anything about it besides just getting a whole new Quest. So can you play this outside? You can, but you have to do it in the way I do it, in a very specific way, which is wearing this headset completely on your face before you walk out that door and then going outside. And even saying that, these lenses here are very sensitive to direct sunlight as well. So if the sun's hitting this, it's not going to damage them in any way, but it's going to make tracking on your Quest controllers either not work or not be very good at all. So honestly, the perfect time that I always run outside to play my Quest, if I want to do something outside for a lot of fun, like Spatial Ops, for example, that lets you create your whole entire arena outside and really make you feel like you're, playing Nerf Wars outside or a team deathmatch with your friends, do it. But again, put your Quest headset on your head first, and then after that, do it when it's like dusk. That's like the perfect time. I know here we have like about an hour and a half of doing that, but if you can go outside when the sun's going down, right when it's going down, or it's not like showcased on your headset in the backyard, it's going to be an amazing experience because it's going to be not too dark, because if it's pitch dark, then the Quest sensors won't work at all, or you'll have to turn on some lights if you have them in the backyard. That will work too. But either way, it's a blast playing your Quest outside. Just know those caveats before going out there so you don't damage your Quest. The next thing we're going to talk about here coming in at number 11 is how to make games on the Quest 3 and 3S look even better than what they look like already by using something called the Quest Game Optimizer. So Quest Game Optimizer, as you guys are looking at here, is installed on my Oculus Quest. Yes, you do need to sideload this application after you have to pay for it and stuff like that. It is $10. It is $10 that you have to pay for, but it's well worth it. So many people out there in the community use it already, and it's been used for a really long time. And basically what it does is it makes your games look better than what the stock version does. And how it does that is it raises the resolution and it optimizes some settings and it pushes the games further than maybe they intended it to be pushed. And you can see some of these have even multiple. What's best about this application is you don't even need to do any work. Even though you could create your own custom profiles for games, a lot of people have already done the work. You can see some of the most popular games already here. For example, Batman, they'll have sometimes little notes as well as what you need to do. For example, if you're looking at Beat Saber and you want to do that one and you click on the 3 dots on the top and then you hit edit, you can see here that it kind of shows you you can optimize this yourself. So of course, by default, everything is going to be by default in this game. And you can start the game right from here or test it, whatever you want to do. And then you can come over here and also see what other people have done. Like you can see even the dates that they were optimized. And you can see 10, 16, 24. Someone made an HD plus version where it pushes the resolution of the game even further. And you can see exactly what the game frame rate is targeting, 72, 120, 110, 90. You can see what's changed from the default. You can see that this is set to high. And you can see, what people are doing. And you could just hit start right here. And you can copy that resolution whenever that game starts, which is really, really cool. And you can copy it over right from here. And then there you go. Now this is going to start that Beat Saber in that fashion for you from here on out. So this is a great way to get games looking better. Some games really do look much, much better than they did before. It's kind of amazing what this application can do sometimes, where some games really do look vastly different than what they did before. So this is a really cool application to play with. Makes your games look even better. Like I said, a lot of people use Quest Games Optimizer. It's been around for a while. And you can see a bunch of different applications are always getting updates to make the games look better that people are sharing. You can sometimes see little notes on them that people leave, like I showed you over here. On the top one, they tell you little notes so you know something that they want you to know. And then you can optimize the games by just clicking on it. You can just click on the actual icon here and it will optimize it and start the game and go in HD+. Or you can just click on it and then hit edit and change the settings and then put this in HD, for example, and then hit start. You can hear HD+ profile has now been set up. You can hear the voice and you can hear that also is telling you that has been started up. So you get awareness that this is starting that way. And now, like I said, things look a lot sharper. Even here, the room that I showed you guys before, I don't know if it's coming across in the video, but things have a much sharper look because the resolution is higher than what they did before. Even a simple game like this, things just have a much higher resolution. So definitely a application that I recommend you dive into once you get acquainted to the Quest. Obviously, like I said, you do need to sideload it, so you're going to have to sideload it using SideQuest VR to get it on your Quest, which is what I have here, SideQuest, and then I put this application on here after you pay the $10 for it, which is well worth it. And then you can optimize any game that you want and go in here and make your games look better than ever. The next thing coming in here at number 11 is a quick feature that a lot of people don't know about because we forget about it all the time. Honestly, I forget about it all the time. And that's how to enable pass-through on this without actually having to go into your settings. So when you have the headset on right now, like I do right now, I am looking at, actually right now I am in pass-through, so I'll do it for you guys real quick. But when you're in virtual reality like I am right now, I could technically go into settings and then look for the pass-through mode and then turn it off that way. But just remember, when you're in a game or where you want to do something and you want to quickly get into pass-through, you don't need to go into settings to do it. Just double tap the side of your headset and now you're in pass-through. Double tap it again and you're back in VR. I know a lot of people forget about that double tap feature, but it's really useful when you're in a game and you don't want it to sit there and press the menu button and then go into settings and look for pass-through. It's just a quick double tap and you're in VR or you're in pass-through mode. So just keep that in mind. The next thing we're going to talk about here, coming in at number 9, is virtual environments. Not just the ones built into the Quest that you can access and change your home environment, but also using SideQuest to be able to change your home environment to a variety of different environments that users have created. So if and when you get SideQuest installed on your Oculus Quest here, you can see that there is an area that you can go to that says custom homes. So not only can you, like usual, go into your settings here. If I go in and go to my settings like usual, and then you could see, where is it? Environmental setup, and you can see virtual environment. You have all these different ones that you can set up on here as you guys are looking at. Like the one you guys saw before that I have set up is Meta Horizon Terrace, but they come out with other ones sometimes. Like you can see Oceanarium is another one that they came out with recently. Lakeside looks really good as well. So for example, if we apply this one right now, it will download it because I don't have that installed because I just reset the quest like I talked about. But they have some on here. But what's really cool is that on SideQuest now, you can actually download a bunch of custom homes that people have made based on a variety of different properties, which is really, really cool. So you can see, whatever the game might be. Let's say that you want to be in let's take a look here. And of course, these are made by users, so some environments will always be better than others. Let's just say we click on the Beat Saber one. You can see a video of someone that's doing it. And, what you can do, some environments only tested, customize and create your own home environment, blah, blah, blah. So you can hit side load now. And now when you go into the environment setup that I talked about before, you can see Beat Saber Classic menu here. And what do we have here? Now you're in a Beat Saber environment. I mean, look how cool this freaking is right here. That you actually have Beat Saber in front of you. If it's one of your favorite games, you have this like nice graphic over here with these sabers next to you, and you're kind of just in a cool new environment. Like I said, Oculus has some really good ones as well. Look at this Lakeside Peak one that we just downloaded that you can put yourself in, and this is probably their best looking environment they've ever done. You got some movement back there and stuff like that. I think it looks fantastic. There's no doubt about that. But it's awesome to be able to play with a bunch of these and just download them really easily once you have SideQuest loaded on here. You could just download whatever you want from all these different properties that people have made that let you put all of these on here and, be in a different room. Like, look at this. You got a living room one that kind of changes everything up. You can see how easy it is. It pops up and you hit install. Once you have this set up, you can install a night version as well. And once it's installed, you just flip over here and refresh this. It shows up at the bottom. And now look, you got living room and night. Then we just hit apply and boom. Now we're in the living room here with a nice little, environment. This is really fun to be able to mess with environments and create your own and download other ones that people have made. I'm going to show you guys one more. Just look at this one here. As a huge Friends fan, somebody recreated the Friends apartment here, and then you can kind of just go in here and hit install. For example, let's go ahead and look at the living room night that we just did before we stop doing that. And now we're in the nighttime, and you can see the night outside and stuff like that, which is really cool. But it just gives you a different variety of environments to be in, which I think is super fun. Because I think Meta could be doing a lot more with releasing more of these environments that they make. They only release them every once in a blue moon. But I love changing up my environment, and depending on the mood, the time of year, the season, whatever the case may be. But now you can see Friend's apartment. And it even has the theme song running in the background. I mean, this is the stage, and I was actually there, so I know that this looks exactly like that. Now, I'm going to do the instrumental version because I don't want to get copyright striked. But there you go. Now you're in the Friends environment that reminds you of the actual show. I mean, how cool is this? Very, very cool to be able to be put into these different environments, and definitely something you guys should explore is custom homes in SideQuest for sure.
The next one here, coming in at number 8, we're going to talk about camera options and recording on the Oculus Quest platform.
So there's actually a good variety of camera settings that you can mess with here in the Oculus Quest that you really need to pay attention to when you want to record, depending on what you want. You can see the defaults that I have right now to record this video I'm making for you guys right now. But the aspect ratio is obviously important. If you want to do portrait mode for TikTok, then you can switch it to 1080 by 1920, which is how I record some of my TikTok videos. You could do landscape one, which is what this one's recording, which will take the full entire width. But a lot of the times I record in square format. And the reason for that is, if you guys have seen my VR gameplay videos, is I have my camera on the left and the logo of the game above me. And then the Oculus video will appear, the gameplay, like on the center and to the right of it. So if you see my videos, that's why I use square, because then it fits that area pretty nicely and people love the way that that shows. So I only do landscape when I want it to take over the whole entire video, because of course that's 16 by 9, but then, it just depends on how you want to record. If you want to record that way, you can. I do square a lot of the times, but just know that option's there. Image stabilization, I would recommend you leaving that on low, in my opinion, and leaving it just like that. And frame rate, I leave it 60, and then bit rate, even though you can go higher, I leave it at 10, because what you got to remember is that if you put this higher than low and you put this higher than 10, you're going to get a lot of, every time you move your headset, you're going to get a lot of that. If you guys have seen videos where like the black bars go left and right when you're moving your head, that's because it's got to keep up with that bit rate, and it's got to keep up with the image stabilization. So this is what I found to be low and 10 megabits per second to be like the perfect medium ground, where you don't see those black bars too often when you're moving your head around in VR, because obviously we do that all the time. So you could play around with it and go higher, but just know that you're going to get those black bars when you're moving your head that people obviously don't like to see. So this is my best recommendation, is to leave it like this.
The next one coming in at number 7 is going to be the lenses that you can get for the Quest platform. So as you guys can tell, I wear glasses. So the first thing I did when I got VR is to get these inserts. I've had them for every single Quest headset, every VR headset actually. And it's these little inserts on the Quest platform. These are from Zenni. I'll have a link down below where you can purchase your own. They're my recommended manufacturer. These are actually the same. I use Zenni for everything. Even my real glasses that you see here are from Zenni as well. And these are awesome because you can quickly insert them in and out. So even if you have friends coming over, you can see how easy it is. You can just pop them in, line them up, and there you go. They're snapped in. And then you can put back on and have your lenses in VR. But there's nothing like being in VR and not having to wear contacts or glasses like I experienced the first time I used inserts, because it's the feeling that everyone else, I guess, has when they don't have to wear glasses and they just wake up and can see. Well, I've never had that experience actually until VR, where I can finally just see without feeling contacts in my eyes or feeling glasses. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So it's my number one like recommended accessory for Quest when it comes to someone who wears glasses. And even if you don't wear glasses, but you just want to protect your lenses, they also sell the exact same inserts, but just with no prescription on them. So you can see through them and protect these lenses, because you know, you don't want to get your lenses scratched, because they'll never get removed and you'll never unsee it. So even if you don't wear prescription glasses, you may still want to look into getting inserts just to protect the lenses themselves. The next thing I wanted to talk about coming in at number 6 is using the Quest for your PC. Don't forget that even though the store has hundreds and hundreds of games that you can explore and stuff like that, if you have a gaming PC like I do behind me, you could connect this and play the vast majority of Steam games that are on there. You can even download the Quest store, sorry, not the Quest store, the Oculus software application on your PC and access a lot of games. Some of them even have cross-buy, so you may actually have a library of PC games already, because the games that you buy in the Quest sometimes get on there. Like Metro, the new one that just came out, is on there that you can play and you know, on Quest or on PC for free. You buy it once and you get it on both. Or you can access the vast majority of Steam VR games that are out there as well. And you can do it in one of two ways. You can wirelessly connect this by just going into the AirLink functionality on the Quest. You just go into settings and hit AirLink. And as long as you have the Oculus software installed on your PC, then you're ready to go, and it finds it automatically on your PC. I would definitely recommend your PC being wired if you're going to do that. If you're going to use AirLink and wirelessly stream, you can do that built in with the software on the Oculus. Just make sure your PC is wirelessly, or sorry, directly connected via LAN cable. You can also instead use Virtual Desktop, a software application that a lot of people use on here that, you know, well, it's a paid application, but it has a lot more options than the Oculus Link. Some people say it works better. Some people say the Oculus one works better, so your mileage may vary. But I do know that the Virtual Desktop one has a vast majority of more options, environments that you could be in to be able to play these games and while you're selecting them, and a lot more options to kind of fine tune things. So I've been using that one for a while, and I jump back and forth between Link and Virtual Desktop depending on what I want to do. But if you don't want to use wireless at all because your wireless router isn't good enough or not in the right place, or you can't get your PC to not be Wi-Fi and you can't connect a LAN cable, then you could just buy a link cable for your Oculus instead. You can use the official link cable, which I'll have down in the link description below. And that one lets you play and charge at the same time. So your battery is not going to be draining while you're playing if that's something important to you. And then you can connect the cable from here directly to your PC via USB-C cable. And then you'll be able to stream to play the games either on Steam or on Oculus without having to worry about wireless. And yes, you'll have a cable and it won't be wirelessly streaming anymore, but you won't have any latency either to worry about with Wi-Fi as well. So it depends on what you want to do from there. You don't obviously have to use the official branded Oculus one. You can use other ones that are obviously a lot cheaper on Amazon, but most of those are not going to let you charge and play at the same time, and they'll drain your battery as you're playing. So your mileage may vary on those, but either way,
playing PCVR, and once you see it and how good the graphics are and enjoying the vast majority of games that still are on PC that aren't on the Quest platform is something not to be missed if you have a gaming PC. The next one I want to talk about here at number 5 is multitasking on the Quest 3 and 3S. Now, we talked a little bit about this already in one of the other parts of this video, but multitasking is a pretty cool thing that you can do on here now. So if I open up the browser here, for example, and let's say that I just have, I'm not going to log into it right now, but let's just say I have Reddit opened over here on here, and I can go ahead and move this up if I want to. And let's say I have that open and then I hit library, I can open something else up. I can open up my friends list over here and kind of have that going on. And if I hold the area on the bottom, you can see that line that shows up. That means I can grab it with my grip button on the controller and drag it and put it either in these 3 sections right here. And it will kind of flip-flop between these if I do that. But more importantly is I can grab it and then put it in 3 other slots above me as well. So I can do one of these things up here and kind of do something like this. And now these 3 windows are kind of sitting up here as you guys are looking at. But then I could also, you know, open other things as well. I can open the store over here. Looks like this thing flipped down here by accident. But you get the idea. And then I can do that same thing with YouTube. So if I open up YouTube right now, it's going to open up in full screen. But I could also hit this button here and put watch in panel. Now I can have YouTube sitting, you know, down here. Or I can put YouTube above me. And whatever I want to do with it, I can put it to the side of me over here. I can put it to the side of me over here. And again, obviously it's telling me you can only have 3 windows, but basically you can have 6. You can have these 3 down here, and then these sitting up here to whatever applications you have on here. It could be Xbox Game Pass, you could be playing Xbox down here, have YouTube up there playing music, or have TikTok over here. You could have the browser chilling over here. So multitasking has gotten much better on the Quest, and it is a lot of fun to be able to watch a YouTube video and browse the web, or, you know, play Xbox while having YouTube playing above it, maybe watching a game tutorial or whatever the case may be. So it's definitely much more valuable than it used to be. The next one here coming in at number 4 is going to be comfort that we're going to be talking about. A lot of you guys who just got your Quest 3 or Quest 3S's are probably using the default strap that came in the box. If you guys find that uncomfortable, like 95% of the rest of us who did when we got those Quests when we first opened them, you could get an Elite strap here. This is the Elite strap with battery. They have a couple of variations that you could do with this for comfort. So when it comes to the Elite strap that Meta sells directly, and you can see the link down below if you guys want to purchase that, you could use it, and it's the one that I've been using since day one. Haven't had any issues with it, haven't had it break on me, any of that stuff, and it's worked great. You can just get the strap if you want, or you can do what I did and get the Elite strap with battery. So I like this one better because instead of the default strap that comes with it, which is cloth and always falls around my head and it's just not comfortable, this I could just slip on, tighten the back here with the side button, and then I'm ready to go in VR, and then I can untighten it and come right back out. And obviously it gives you 2.5 more hours of battery if you get the Elite strap with battery, or if you don't get the battery version, then you would just have the Elite strap and it would just give you that better comfort in the way it sits on your head. I really love it. Like I said, I've used it since day one with no problems at all. The other thing that you can get as well that you could do instead of the Elite strap is a lot of people also like the Halo strap design. I don't have one on hand to show you because I use this one, but Bobo VR is the other popular one that people use. I'll link that one down below as well. And that's, instead of this being the way that it is here with the Elite strap design, it will be one that goes over your head. That's a Halo strap design that Bobo VR makes. And instead of it being an internal battery that's built in like this, it's a hot swappable battery. So you can have the two batteries charging on the side, and then pop them in and out when you want to do it. So I chose this one, and I'm happy with my choice, but obviously there's a lot of people who like the Bobo VR strap, so whichever one you like, the link will be down below for you to purchase. The other thing to mention too is these facial straps that are here on the Quest platform here. This is the silicone variant that I have here. I love this because I hate the default cloth one that came with it. It itches my face when I wear it. Don't like it at all. This is a more leather, like soft plushy version of that. Like I said, it's silicone. Again, the link will be down in the description for this as well. And this is the official one, and I find it super, super comfortable. And it's been holding up for, I don't know, whenever the Quest 3 came out. What is it, like 1.5 years now, 2 years, whatever it is. And, I've had no issues with it at all. And it looks just as good as new, even wearing it all the time, switching it with friends and family. And yeah, it really increases the comfort compared to the default facial interface that comes in the Quest, in my opinion. The next one I want to talk about here, coming in at number 3, is bringing your Windows computer and working in VR.
One of the other things that is also really cool is the fact that I can bring my Windows PC into VR. If I look at my PC here and I go out of pass through and I go into mixed reality here, I don't think you guys can see it in the video, but right now I'm getting a little connect button on my PC, which is basically going to bring my PC into VR as you guys are looking at here. It is going to connect in a second, and now boom, I have my Windows PC, whether it be in mixed reality or in an immersive environment, and I could do the same thing I talked about in the last tip. I can now multitask and have my friends opened on the right and have this going over here. So I have my full Windows computer that I can do whatever I want with right here, and you know, bring this up here and whatever, and have my 3 other windows here. But now I have access to my full Windows PC here, and I can go ahead and browse and, you know, do whatever. I can go ahead and browse and do whatever I need to do on my computer here, as you can see, and have no issues doing it, which is really super cool. That I have access to my computer right here, and I could basically work in VR, which is obviously what a lot of people like to do. So this is really cool, and you can play games this way. The lag is minimal, so you can stream games from your desktop onto here. You can get work done, type whatever. Moving my mouse feels natural and stuff like that. Doesn't feel like there's any lag. This is all thanks to a new application that is installed on Windows computers called Mixed Reality Link. As you can see here. So basically, once you have this installed, there's a mixed reality link application on your Quest that you can download. It kind of takes over the remote desktop that a lot of people had before on their Quest. So this is the new application that kind of takes that over, and it's called Mixed Reality Link that you download on your Quest. You have that set up, and then once you have that set up and you download the little utility on your computer, and it's on there in this early beta stage. And once you have it installed on there and it's in early beta and everything, and you kind of have that set up and ready to go, basically what happens now is that, like, not only do you have access to your PC and Windows, but you don't even need to do anything anymore, because that is built into Windows, this little utility, and it's worked well for me ever since, where basically anytime I look at my computer now, as you can see the monitor's off, now I can just use this computer right here, and I can just connect to it with my Quest, and I don't have to like touch anything on my computer to connect to it or link it or anything. Anytime I want to turn it on, as long as my computer's on, I could just look at it, hit the connect button, and then I'm installed. It's very similar to like what Apple does with their Mac computers and stuff like that, where it just automatically connects when you look at it. Very, very similar to that, and it's worked extremely well so far. And you can even create 3 different displays, even if you don't have 3 displays, because I don't have 3 displays on my computer. I only have my main one back here. You can see that you can create 3 different displays on your computer, which is super cool. And now I can multitask. So if I'm using my mouse here on the right, you can see I could just move this around, and it all just works really smoothly. You can see, look at me moving this around, no stutter or anything like that. It just works really, really well, at least in my environment here. And, you know, do exactly what you would want to do working in VR, and having access to 3 screens when you only really have one is a pretty cool feature to get you to working in VR. And it's pretty freaking awesome, if I must say. And I almost forget to mention that in order to pair your PC with this Microsoft Mixed Reality Link, you just go into the advanced options here, and you'll see under experimental features here, a pair to PC with Microsoft Mixed Reality Link, and then you just follow the instructions that will bring. So really simple.
The next thing I want to talk about, coming in at number 2, is enabling something called quick settings in VR that can really help you get to settings like turning on your mic on and off, getting to the menu, all hands-free and a lot faster than hitting the button on your controller and navigating through the menus. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Staying in here in the settings application, actually, is I want to show you in their settings, when you look at movement tracking, there's something in here that I think most people should turn on, because I really like it, and that is expanded quick actions. Enables access to more shortcuts while using your hands. You could see if I have my hands out now for hand tracking, and I go ahead and look at my palm, that button opens up, and now I can just hold my fingers together, and now I can move around and select these different options. I could stop my recording I'm doing right now, I can mute myself, go through pass-through right now, and now I'm in pass-through. I can hold it again, go out of pass-through. So it's a really quick way to manipulate some of these settings. You can access Meta AI right here. You can recenter yourself, mute yourself in a game. So it's a really useful thing to have on your hands without having to walk and get back into settings or anything like that, and just having those quick actions anywhere you go by just looking at your hand and holding it down.
And my number 1 tip for all of you guys who are just getting Quest here recently is getting your VR legs. I see this Every time Christmas season comes around, and I still see people talking about it to this day. Oh, I just downloaded this game and I get VR motion sickness in the first 2 minutes of playing it. What did you guys do to get over it? First of all, don't be playing games that require like regular movement as your first VR experience if you've never played VR. Don't hop into Population 1 because it's a popular battle royale where you have to move around like you would in real life, and because that's going to get you motion sick right away for a lot of people. Start with more tamer experiences that you can kind of lead yourself into. Start watching some movies in VR. Use the big screen app. Go in there and socialize with people. Get used to how VR looks like and being in there. And once you're in there, maybe play something a little bit more faster paced like Beat Saber and Synth Riders and things that require a little bit more motion, but you're standing still. And then after that, maybe graduate like little by little to Population 1 and to Contractors and to more heavy-based FPS games or story-based games that you're moving around in. But take your steps little by little, and more importantly, even me, who has played VR since the very beginning, sometimes the game, for some reason or another, just gets you. Go into the settings and customize the comfort if you need to. Use those vignette things that the developers put in there if you need to. But more importantly, sometimes you just need to go little by little, even if you've been a VR vet for a while. It happens to me. Granted, it hasn't happened in a while, but even to this day, there's some applications or games that I have to play, and I'm like, all right, I have to play this for 15 minutes, and then I start feeling motion sickness a little bit, and then I have to take the headset off, come back 2 hours later, and then play, 30 minutes, and then repeat that until it kind of goes away. And that's what a lot of people need to do sometimes, is playing these apps little by little and coming back and forth, and then you'll develop your VR legs, as people like to say, and be able to play that game. But what you don't want to do that will really irritate you and make you want to not play VR again is what I did when I first got into VR years ago, being that you think that you're cool. You're like, oh, I feel a little motion sickness in 15 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and power through. And then you end up feeling like crap for because then you get that throwing up sensation, and then you take your headset off and you're sick for like 4 to 6 hours where you feel nauseous and you don't want to do anything, never mind in VR, but just watching TV or anything, you feel terrible. That's something you don't want to do at all. So like I said, get your VR legs, develop into games little by little, and if you find the game that even after you develop your VR legs you need some help in, just graduate little by little, 15 minutes in, 15 minutes out, and then keep going up and down, and then you'll eventually get better and better. At least the vast majority of people, that's usually how it works for everybody who's talked about this in this community. But guys, that is my top 15 tips for all new users for the Quest 3, Quest 3S, and if you still have a Quest 2, some of these tips may apply to you as well. And hopefully that helps you guys. If you guys have any questions on any of this, if you guys want to see a more in-depth tutorial on how to get side quests installed on your Quest platform, or how to get that Quest Optimizer app that I showed you, I didn't want to go too into detail on how to get it installed because that could be its own video and take like 15 to 10 minutes on its own. I know that there's tutorials out there already, so I didn't want to dive too deep and make this video any longer than what it already was. So if you guys want to see a separate tutorial for either of those and you don't know how to do it, leave those comments down below. But if not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.